Strong people, Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, and I am doing my update on my BIOTE testosterone pellets, testosterone replacement therapy, hormone replacement therapy, however you want to call it. This is about, I think about 8 weeks or so since I got the testosterone pellet implant. You can find my first video with my initial thoughts in the description below. I think it was 1 or 2 week update, maybe whatever it was. Anyways, so first things first, just to recap a little bit, I had 10 pellets put in. Not sure exactly what that equates to. One thing I saw said it equates to about 125 to 150 milligrams of normal testosterone. Previously, I've been on injectable testosterone. Just wanted to try something new and not have to do intramuscular shots every week. Thought this would be a little bit more just set it and forget it and go in every, twice a year or so. So I would say the downside is the recovery. The procedure didn't take very long and wasn't painful or anything. It was more invasive of a procedure than was described to me by the doctors. I would say just a little off on that. So they numb you up, you don't feel anything, and then they tell you you can't do any lower body exercise for a week. Mine ended up just really swelling up, getting super heated. It had probably some sort of light infection, or my body was rejecting it, because even when I went in a month later, because it didn't quite get infected, I thought about going in, but the office is like an hour away. Went in for my month follow-up. Doctor said it was abnormal, how hot the area was. He even tried to lance it, but nothing came out. I think my body was simply rejecting it. That's my non-medical opinion, not a doctor. I'd say the recovery took closer to 2 weeks and was still kind of painful to the touch for about 2 weeks. And I couldn't do any sort of squats or anything like that. I think it was slightly aggravated because, I said, well, can I go for walks? But there's lots of hills. I live on, a couple acres, and there's a big hill I have to carry my son up and stuff. So it's it's lower body training doing, you're carrying 20 something wiggly pounds up a slight, good incline. I think delayed the process, but overall, I think my body just slightly rejected it, is what happened. And it was I just was not very happy with that. Good news is, my testosterone when I first went in was at 81, but that's because I had been off of normal testosterone therapy for a while, so I was definitely crashed. My natural levels have always checked out in the low 300s, which isn't great. With 100 milligram shot of testosterone cypionate every week, I usually tested in the mid 7s, sometimes in 660. Then I had another one over the years that was 740-ish, which you feel pretty good at. The doctor told me their goal was to get me to about 1,000 to 1,200. And when I had my follow-up, I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks after the procedure, I tested my testosterone level at, it was either 1,007 or 1,009. Not that makes any difference. I'd say it took me about a month to really start feeling good again, having more energy. I don't sleep a lot as is because I have a toddler who's difficult in that way. Great in a lot, but difficult in the sleep department. I'm sure other people can, sympathize with me there or relate. And so it's kind of hard to tell how you're feeling. I did gain some initial weight. How much is that? Just stress eating and dietary. There's been some lapse there, and it's pretty normal. My estrogen level also went up a lot, and I feel better. I was actually getting a lot of joint pain because I think my estrogen level was too low. But overall, a lot more productive at work. When I work out again, it doesn't feel like a chore. I actually feel like I want to do some more reps. I want to push myself a little bit. I want to do some more weight, and I look forward to it, and I feel better after lifting or doing cardio or whatever to some extent. But when my testosterone was crashed, you just feel lethargic constantly. Just felt like crap. You know, I would still work out, but it just felt like, what's the point? And now it's refreshing, feel better, strength's better overall. Haven't been lifting super heavy, but you can just tell that everything's going up, and you just feel a lot better, and it's totally worth it. If anyone is suffering with low testosterone, I definitely recommend checking out your doctor. I think this procedure was 600 something bucks, and I'm up in the air on if I want to do it again when I'm due, because it is expensive. It's a lot more expensive than intramuscular shots, especially if you have good insurance, which I don't, because I'm self-employed and insurance is expensive, and it's just cheaper overall for me to pay out of pocket for this kind of stuff. But if you have good insurance, I think intramuscular is the way to go. Shots aren't that difficult to deal with. Still, 2 months later, like, I can still feel like a pouch. It feels like there's like a little coin purse in my glute. I don't even think I'm all that lean. I definitely have some weight to lose. I weighed in this morning at 208, and I'd like to be around 190, 185 to 190. When I competed, I was about in that range, 185 to 190. Some of the weight gain is probably from the testosterone, because your estrogen also shoots up. You hold a little bit more water, but I'm not going to blame it all on the medication. A lot of it is probably from my overeating. So my main thing is the cost is expensive. It was a lot more invasive and more recovery time than I thought it would be. But now I feel good. It took longer to establish a good baseline again than I think intramuscular shots do. All my blood work looked good. Everything's healthy, so that's great. My main thing is, like, let's say that this medication and, you know, these 10 pellets last 5 months. It's a lot more affordable than if it lasts 4. If I have to do this 3 times a year or more, which I'm guessing that's kind of the case, that ends up being pretty damn expensive. The one reason I'm considering doing the pellets again at my next, when I'm due, is just to give it a fair shot to see if my insertion procedure was as abnormal as the doctors and some people say, where it took longer to recover from and just, had that slight infection. The other part of me goes, why not just go back to what you knew worked for years, which is just intramuscular injections. A little bit of a pain just having to do it and remember every week, but it's honestly not that bad. Also, just dealing with pharmacies can be a pain. So I'm up in the air, but make sure to hit subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below on it. This is just my own experience, not telling you to do anything one way or the other, just sharing my experience with a BIOTE testosterone pellets about 8 weeks in. Testosterone went up to 1,000. Feeling good overall. I just think the cons are it's expensive, a lot more expensive than other medications, and my own experience was it took longer to recover from than they say, and isn't as just set it and forget it as I was sold. I'm Kalle Beck. Thanks for watching.